I think we're on, Patrick Pete. I think we are, or we are making sure.
I'm on mute though.
You're on mute. Let me unmute you.
Yeah.
Hey everybody, so
Hello.
glad you could be with us. I'm Shon Gables, along with Patrick Pete, our first alert meteorologist in the Atlanta News First Plus studio. It is Thursday, November 7th. I like to call it Friday Eve, buddy.
Listen, this is my Friday. I would
Oh,
not
it is
be.
your
I would
Friday?
not be in these streets tomorrow.
Oh, why not?
Because one of my best friends, it's his birthday. So,
So you got the PTO to
I got some
take off.
PTO. Listen, PTO Pete needs to take a day off every once in a
PTO
while.
Pete, I agree with you.
Yes.
You picked a great day to take off. The
Listen.
weather, I mean, that's the real flex today. I mean, we have a lot of news that we're going to cover tonight, but the real flex, folks, is the forecast.
Yeah.
Here in the north, for folks who live in the north, they don't get what we get in the south or
Listen.
the southeast in the month of November. 71
The
degrees
70s.
right now?
Yes, the 70s in November. And the sun is already set.
Yes.
The sun is already set and we're still in the 70s.
I came outside this morning with T-shirt, shorts, and was like, man.
Didn't it feel good to you?
I mean, I do not miss New York City. I hate to say it, but I mean, it's so cold. November, December.
Yeah.
The question, though, is this going to last for a bit?
It's going to last for a bit. Things don't really change a whole lot. Definitely not in a bad direction. Believe it or not, we're going to be flirting with 80 degrees tomorrow. And
You're kidding. On your PTO day?
Look, Georgia's most accurate. Don't play about the weather
And
forecast.
that's a good point. I mean, folks, if you don't know, I'm going to let you know now. Did you get a lot of fan mail today? Because Atlanta News First, Patrick Pete, is quite the favorite.
Am I?
In Atlanta.
Am
Yes.
I? Okay, that's good to know.
Listen, the accuracy of the forecast and then having the largest weather team in the Southeast, you're doing good, buddy.
Thank you. I think it's the country twang.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, I think it's what it is, the country twang.
And of course, Macon's finest.
Hello, Macon.
If you're not watching our newscast on WPGA Macon, that's at 10 o'clock. You'll get to see
Hey,
my
Macon.
buddy here.
Hey, Macon. Listen here, I am doing double duty. We have a helipad here at the station, and I do the forecast here, and then I get on that helipad and I go to Macon every day and come back, and I'm back here for 10:30.
So make sure you join myself, Blair Miller, Patrick Pete. You're gonna stick around. We're gonna talk about the weather, but we're gonna make sure you join us tonight on Atlanta News First at 11. Also on WPGA him in Macon, and then Peachtree
Macon
TV
Bacon.
at 10 p.m. It's the place to be. But let's talk about some quick stories that we're going to show tonight. That's on our newscast at 11. And the big deal, we know that affordable housing, it's tough in Atlanta. And we have two big stories that we're following tonight. Affordable housing was a big issue this election season. It's tough for students at local colleges in Atlanta. Let's face it, Atlanta is full, and the demand for affordable housing is at an all-time high. Atlanta News First Blake Devine is speaking with the people about new housing that is coming to Atlanta. You're looking right now at a proposed student housing for Georgia Tech. It's right behind the Varsity restaurant. That's where it's going to be located. Varsity, if you're from this area, Varsity iconic for its hot dogs and hamburgers and shakes. But that spot, that parking lot that is next to the Varsity is going to be the next new high-rise that's coming to Midtown Atlanta. Our Blake Devine, he's going to look at the need for more housing for both nearby Georgia Tech students and the city of Atlanta. That one is a big story that we're covering. The other one that we're covering, and our Atlanta News First, Madeline Montgomery, she's been following this story, speaking with the family and community members for this young man right here. There's a vigil remembering 18-year-old teenager shot and killed at a gas station in Atlanta. He had dreams of becoming an engineer. The family and the community coming together to say the violence has got to stop. The victim's mother spoke to Atlanta News First Patrick Quinn earlier today. She's asking all Atlantans who know anything about the killer to turn him in.
Across town here outside Atlanta Police Headquarters, a spokesperson told me that they do not have any updates in this case. No arrests have been made. They do not have an identification of a suspect. Now, the mother of Raquavius, LaShayla, she doesn't want others to feel the grief she feels.
I had a great kid. He had a future.
LaShayla Ferguson grieving the death of her 18-year-old son, Raquavius Ferguson.
a recent grad of Booker T. Washington High School who was shot and killed Tuesday in an Atlanta gas station parking lot. While LaShayla talked, you could see her processing her son's death in real time.
He was a winner. He was smart. Like, that was my baby, and they took him from me. I don't know why. I don't even understand nothing. I need answers. That's all I'm asking for.
In surveillance video Tuesday around 4 o'clock, you see a few young people fighting in this gas station parking lot. Then shots. One person ran off. Police said a 14-year-old was shot but is expected to be okay. Raquavius, who wanted to be an engineer, was killed.
He was just there. It was just a whole bunch of kids in the area, and I heard it was a fight and somebody shot, and he was one of the people that ended up shot.
Police told me today the investigation is active and ongoing. I looked into the recent crime history in this area. According to APD's latest crime report on October 26th, in this police zone, Zone 1, homicides have increased 16% year over year, while homicides citywide are down 15%. Raquavius' aunt, Sanchetta, said to address rising gun violence, accountability must supersede criticism of her community.
It's like when things like this happen, the blame game is happening versus just trying to get to the bottom of the situation so it can be fixed.
Her son's life cut short for LaShayla. She's in agony, looking for answers.
I'm hurt. I'm confused. I don't know anything.
Maybe a sliver of good news. I learned today that LaShayla was able for the first time to see the body of her son Raquavius. He was 18 years old. Outside Atlanta Police Headquarters, Patrick Quinn, Atlanta News First.
Again, our Madeline Montgomery, she's going to have a full report on that story tonight at 11 on Atlanta News First. Our condolences definitely go out to the victim's family. We're also going to have more on that vigil. And that also will be tonight at 11. Okay, Patrick, Pete, I don't know where you are, but you need to come back, buddy. It's 71 degrees, 81% humidity, the visibility 10 miles.
I want that two-part camera because I want to tell you where I was. Bring back the two-part camera.
Bring back the two-part camera.
Yes,
Well, stand by, folks, because I was trying to help you out.
Listen, yeah.
And now you want to put me back to work.
I want to tell you where I was.
Where
Y'all
were
all
you?
will understand this at home.
Okay, I'm listening.
So several of our coworkers made the rounds
About?
a couple days ago, about 3-4 days ago. You know how after Halloween all the candy gets discounted?
Who has the Snickers? Because that's what I want.
There are more candy bowls here now than there was leading up to Halloween because everybody got the discounted Reese's, Kit Kats, and Snickers.
Where are they?
I was at Tracy Green's desk just now.
Okay, well, let me
Now,
go
She
and-
only has Hershey's Kisses and Kisses. Hershey's bars and Kisses.
Those
on
are
her
not the
desk.
ones I want.
But
I'm
that's
looking
good
for
enough.
Snickers. What was your favorite
It blessed
candy
my
this
soul.
holiday? I mean, now I'm not even going to make bones about this.
We know you just drink bone broth and
I
juice.
drink bone broth, lots of water, and I am not a fan of Halloween. Just not. But if I can find somebody Snickers today,
Listen here.
I'm getting ready to clear the bowls out.
Listen here. Tell the people why you're not a fan of Halloween. I just want to know.
That's a whole nother podcast,
Listen there.
folks.
Okay,
We're going to save that for another time.
We're gonna say that for
another
next
day.
year. We're gonna say that for next year for the Halloween
But let's
next
talk
year.
about what the flex is in Atlanta, that if you are here in our fine city, unlike most folks in November who need a hoodie, a jacket, a coat, and
Yes.
even a scarf,
He's blessing you with warmth.
you're doing the Lord's work
Listen,
today.
he is blessing you with warmth.
It's so beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it is nice, there I am again. Here,
Yep.
let's go back to the 71 degrees. Beautiful weather, Patrick.
It is nice.
Easy for you today.
It is, and I'm enjoying every minute of it. That's why I'm smiling. That's why I'm laughing. This forecast does not get much better than where we are. Good evening, everybody. I hope y'all are having a fantastic Thursday. This has been a long week. Election, weather. We had a weather day a couple days ago for rain, which most of us didn't get it, but southeast of here, they got it. And we're still dealing with some warm numbers out there. I know I have a jacket on. It's because I'm in the studio, and these folks in here like it a little chilly. So we're going to roll with that. Let's get you through the next few hours, which is going to feature temperatures not changing a whole lot. We're going to slowly cool down. We started off the day this morning at 68, and we topped out at 73. So we only moved 5 degrees all day because we had cloud cover across most of the region. Now, if you're north and west of Atlanta, Marietta, and points to the northwest, you had a little bit more sunshine, so those temperatures crept up a little bit more. I think I saw 80 at some point in Rome, 78 in LJ. So, yeah, those areas northwest of the city got into the upper 70s today, if not 80, whereas we were a little bit milder today. Just for a point of reference, our morning temperature this morning was 68 degrees. We actually tied what meteorologists call a record high low, which is a high morning low. Normally we're supposed to be at 46 degrees to start off the morning. We were at 68, so like 22 degrees warmer than average. Tomorrow we're going to be flirting with the record, but I don't think we're going to get there. The record for tomorrow is 68 again. We're forecasting 67, so we'll be a little bit cooler than that record, but still very, very warm. Listen, I cannot overstate 21 degrees warmer than average to start off the day. And then we'll get those clouds breaking, the fog that we'll see, which will be patchy, not everywhere, just real hit or miss. It's going to mix out. We'll start to get some sunshine breaking through the clouds, and those numbers really do start to improve as we head into the afternoon. And even tomorrow night, it's Friday night, and if you feel all right, the party could be on the east, south, north, or west side. You'll be able to go out in short sleeves and shorts. It is going to feel amazing. The clouds decrease through the day. Temperatures get into the mid-70s around lunchtime. We're in the upper 70s as the kids are getting out of school. I think they're still in school, right? Yeah. And then we cool into the low 70s through the evening. So even if you're doing a happy hour after work, like a nice top vibe would be ideal because we're going to be in the 70s. It's going to be real nice if you're here. Temperatures fall into the 60s through the overnight. Clouds build back. And the weekend is looking very gloomy with like some hit or miss showers. It looks very, very isolated, but there's going to be some rain falling in some places throughout the day on Saturday. You know how the last couple of days it's looked like it was going to rain and then a little drizzle here, there, not everywhere. That's going to be the setup for Saturday. And I think that's going to keep temperatures a little bit cooler. Most locations will struggle to get out of the 60s. I do have that high at Hartsville-Jackson at 71, but we'll spend the bulk of the day in the 60s. So just be prepared for it to feel cooler Saturday versus what we're going to see tomorrow. And that's only going to be increased as we head into Sunday. We're going to have an east breeze. I know you guys hear us talk about the cold wedge, the cool wedge. We're going to have that cool wedge phenomena going on, bringing in the east wind. We're going to have cloud cover around, and there's going to be some spotty showers. All of those things work in tandem to keep temperatures a few degrees cooler Sunday versus Saturday. So we're expecting most of us to get into the mid to upper 60s for afternoon highs. And if you take a look at this map, it kind of tells the story. That east breeze keeps our easternmost communities cooler. So we're going 60 Gainesville, 62 Athens. The further west you go, the numbers tick up a little bit. 66 in Covington, 66 Atlanta, Dalton. And then the further south and west you go of the city, that wedge doesn't really have as big of an impact. So you have 68 in places like Griffin and Carrollton, near 70 degrees in LaGrange. So hopefully that makes sense. Now, whenever we mention that cool wedge on air, listen, depending on the day and the producer, they may not give us enough time to say what we all need to say, We have this producer named Joe G. I'm not going to say his last name because I'm not going to blast him. But he doesn't like to give me more than like 2:30, 2:45 unless we have some real crazy stuff happening weather-wise. So we have to condense what we have to say into what you need to know, which is kind of cool because you don't want to hear me ramble on TV like this every day, right? Probably not. All right, anyways, so now you know why we're going to be cooler on Sunday. Heading into Veterans Day, I do think we'll have a better chance of some showers. There's a bit of a short wave just pushing through. It does look like it hangs out north Georgia, like extreme North Georgia, but we're going to give everybody a chance. I do think that's something we'll continue to figure out. Maybe the further south and east you are, you may not get the rain, you may just get the clouds. For now, we're just going to go with a generic 40% chance, but that's something we'll be fine-tuning. We'll get some sunshine finally to dominate, although tomorrow you'll get some sun. The sun dominates Tuesday, which is going to be gorgeous, low 70s. Still a little bit above average. We should be mid to upper 60s. So being in 73, we're 5+ degrees warmer than average, which is a win. But then we trend a little bit cooler as the clouds build back on Wednesday. And then we're watching another system. This is another front. The timing of this front is going to be critical at what as far as the language we're going to be using with that system, right? For now, it does look like we're going to have rain. This could be late Thursday. It could be mid-afternoon. It's 7 days away, y'all. We're not going to try to give you an hour by hour all the way that far down the path. But it does look like we're going to get wet, and that front's going to move through, and that's going to equal a significant rain chance. Right now, we're going with 40%. Once we get a little bit more data to nail down that timing, then we'll actually change that, and we may have to issue a first alert for it. Jay Gordon, tell us more about this Joe fellow and his great wisdom. Oh, yeah, Joe has great wisdom. Now, Joe was one of the very few of my colleagues who had a candy bowl up before Halloween. And his candy bowl was actually the best bowl in the building. Gotta give respect where respect is due. That candy bowl was lit. Kit Kat, Reese's, there were Rolos, there were Paydays, if I'm not mistaken, and there was one more candy. I can't remember what it was. Almond Joys. There was Almond Joy in there, and I felt like there was the mint too, the chocolate mints. So yeah. So listen, that bowl was lit. I don't know. Listen, that bowl was lit. That's all I'm gonna say. Anyways, beyond the 7-day forecast, we're keeping an eye on the tropics. Something that I noticed with the satellite imagery earlier today was that it appeared that Raphael was getting a little bit more organized. For a while, we could actually see an eye starting to develop. It looked a little bit more organized. Those winds up to 105. The pressure actually dropped a little bit today, which when pressure drops in hurricanes, you typically get a uptick in the winds, and we saw that happen. Still a Category 2 storm. It was a Cat 3 when it actually made landfall in Cuba. This is moving to the west-northwest at about 9 miles per hour. This is forecast to continue to move more on a westward trajectory. And for the next day, it'll probably maintain its intensity, maybe with a slight waver here or there, maybe even a slight uptick because it is looking pretty healthy right now compared to how it looked, 24 hours ago. But it is going to encounter some drier air and also some wind shear. Drier air, kind of self-explanatory. When you're in the tropics, dry air isn't conducive for them to continue to develop or organize or intensify. But when it's Monday, and I've given you one. Beyond that, we are keeping an eye on another area of low pressure off of the coast of Puerto Rico. It's just looking real sketchy. If it develops, it's going to be day 6, day 7 into a tropical depression, and that's not even looking likely either. But it's something we're watching. National Hurricane Center is giving that a 20% probability. All righty, so I've kept you a long time, and actually this has actually been fun for me. I missed y'all. I haven't been on the stream, I don't think, since Monday. But I'm going to leave you with the 7-day forecast so that you can get what you need to know from this. Meteorologist Fred Campagna will be having a last look. He's going to have some updated timing on that rain, a chance Sunday, Monday, and then also he'll be able to give you a look at what the models are thinking for this rain chance Thursday. He'll be doing that at 10 o'clock on Peachtree TV and again at 11 on Atlanta News First. You guys have a fantastic evening. Jay Gordon, thank you so much for the question in the chat. He was our lone commenter in the YouTube comment section. Thank you to everyone that's joining us at home. Y'all have a fantastic evening, and we will do this again tomorrow at 8 o'clock.